All right, welcome back, everybody. It's just about 3:10, and who hasn't, purchased an app from the App Store on your phone, only to find out when you thought, oh, it's free. At some point in time, you paid for it in one way or another. Harry Maggins is back with us. He's a data privacy expert to give us a little bit more information about what's going on here when we think that we're really in the clear, but at the very least, our personal data is the price we pay.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me back on again. It's always good to be extra careful when you're downloading an app that doesn't have a price tag, because software development's not free, right? If you download an app and there's no price on it, the company behind it, the programmers, it's not usually philanthropic. Usually they're trying to find a way to make money. And as they do that, then, they have to find a way. And usually your data and your behavioral information is how they monetize it and how they make money. So you have to be careful.
Yeah. And how far does that go?
Pretty far. So it started a while back. If you remember when Apple first released the ability to decline tracking, this is probably a year or two ago. It brought some visibility into the app ecosystem for the first time, because people realized, wow, why is my flashlight asking my location, or my calculator trying to figure out other devices in my home, or is trying to ask for location 24/7 for a weather app when I only want to check the weather and know in that moment in time. So the visibility has caused people to be a lot more concerned than they used to be. And with that, obviously Apple's done a good job in trying to push back against privacy, and the average consumer is waking up a little bit more to it than they used to be. And it's just about being safe and being careful.
So who would you say are some of the worst offenders?
Usually it's the e-commerce ones. Temu has a really bad reputation for selling your data. TikTok's been in the news a lot recently because when they came to the US last week and it became an official US JV, now suddenly for the first time, they have to disclose the kind of data that they're collecting. Whereas when China owned them, they had limited disclosures, but a lot of it was optional. In the US now, they have California CCPA, CPRA, and about 36 different states that require privacy disclosures. Well, TikTok specifically, they track things like your exact GPS location. They track your sexual orientation. They track your immigration status, which is highly relevant considering all the law enforcement and ICE conversations these days. They've always tracked this. This is nothing new. The only difference is now it's coming into the foreground, and the visibility that they're tracking it is becoming a news story.
I'm seeing that this even applies, and I think about it, during the month of February when a lot of people might be hitting the dating apps a little hard, but even there.
Absolutely. The dating industry specifically is, it's a very exploitative, dangerous world, just because when you're an app that has limited lifespan for a person, you don't usually stay on a dating app for years. You join for a few months. They try to make as much money as they possibly can from you in that time period, and then you move on to the next app, or you uninstall, or you cancel your subscription. So while you're using it, they're going to try to get everything they possibly can out of you.
Yeah. Okay. So what should we be doing different?
Just being cautious, right? Thinking twice. If you get asked for permissions, try to figure out, why is the app asking, your location right now, or things that don't make a lot of sense. And then Google yourself. Simply go on the internet, search for your name, search for your address, search for your phone number, see if it's out there and available. And if it is, why? And usually it's a data broker site. Usually it's a people search site. Usually it's one of those sites that found your information through a Temu or through a TikTok or through a social media quiz you took on which Harry Potter character you are, something like that. They see you take these, they collect the data however they can, they resell it across the internet, and then it's being used to drive ad revenue or affiliate revenue, or unfortunately gets into the hands of bad actors or are hackers or some people you don't want it sometimes. So just being aware of your digital footprint, doing the searches, seeing what's out there, and seeing how you can clean it up is a good way to take control of your privacy.
I've done a part of that. I've Googled myself before, and it gives like the search terms that people are looking for, the frequently asked things. And I'm like, why do people keep searching for my age? Like, I don't understand that. But it's one of like the frequently searched points that comes up with my name. What are corporations doing differently?
The same thing as consumers. Corporations are looking at the employee privacy and saying, hey, wait, my employee is being telemarketed to constantly, getting spam emails constantly, hacker attempts, trying to break in, trying to phish the employee and break into the company. It's the exact same technologies that a consumer deals with, right? If your phone's ringing off the hook at work or at home, it's because a data broker is selling your phone number with your intent signal, with your what you're in market for, with your title if it's at work, or if your hobbies if it's at home, your demographics. It's all for sale. Everything about you is for sale. And the data brokers are really the villain of this story. And the more people are aware of the fact that their data is being sold, and there is something they can do with it, they can fight back. They can go on these sites and request their information be deleted. It's hopefully going to start tilting that weight in the opposite direction, and actually realizing that people do have more control than they are aware of. And as telemarketers get less data, hopefully it'll make everybody safer and less stressed.
What other protections are being put in place, though?
There's different companies trying to do different things. Apple has recently released their call screening technology, where incoming calls now get routed through their AI, their Siri AI, trying to see if it's a scammer or a spam caller trying to reach them. Different companies are trying different things, but at the end of the day, the best thing you can do is delete yourself from data brokers. Delete your digital footprint, go online, clean up anything you find on Google, and being smart about what you're putting on social media. Don't share your email address. Don't share your cell phone number publicly, right? And if a company or an app is asking you for permissions, just pause for a second and ask why. Simply granting an innocuous app a permission it doesn't need might result in the data brokers buying yet another attribute on you, making your profile more valuable, making spammers and hackers and telemarketers and everybody out there, making yourself more of a juicy target for those bad people.
And just on a final note, are there trusted cleaner uppers, if you will? Because I can see people hearing like, oh, go in and delete or whatever, or have someone delete it, and looking for an app that says we can delete it.
Absolutely. So PrivacyBee, or privacybee.com, like the insect BEE, is the most trusted way to clean up your digital footprint in the whole industry. Their platform is something that we built here. It's my company, where we go out there, we scan thousands of different data brokers. We've scanned the dark web, we scan social media, we scan search engines, Google, Bing, Yandex, wherever it is, wherever your information's out there, we'll find it. And for free, we give it to people and say, hey, here is your digital footprint. Here's what's out there about you. And we give them an option, either for a step-by-step DIY guide, they can go and clean up their own information. Or our service has a very high efficacy, where we'll go out there and on behalf of that individual, we'll protect their privacy. We'll fight back against the data brokers. We'll get their information yanked out of the hands of telemarketers, and we'll give them back control.
Well, thank you for your service. I appreciate talking to you, Harry. You're always a wealth of information for us.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. 3:18, everybody, give us 2 minutes. Our next guest is already on the line.